Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome to some more Q&A-ing. I actually decided to ask you guys on the social media whether or not you had anything to ask me. And believe it or not, a lot of you actually asked me all kinds of different questions. So for this specific one, I'm gonna be answering like more real life / YouTube related questions. Whereas I know a lot of you have questions about StarCraft 2 as well, but I'll leave that for another video at a later time. So today, we're gonna be talking about all kinds of YouTube related things as well as some real life things of me. Alright, so Sean Kennedy asks, Loco, what tips would you give video makers that are just starting out? And this is kind of an interesting one. I do get this one on the live stream all the time. I don't really think you need to like really overthink it, to be honest. The one advice that I give people all the time is just to have as much fun as possible and to just go with it. You don't really have to have like a certain plan in mind of something you really want to achieve, because when you're first starting out, you're just doing it as a hobby anyway. I am by no means like a super professional dude, although I do try and take a professional approach nowadays. But when I first started out, I was just, playing RuneScape and I wanted to make some videos about that game. If you're talking actual filmmaking, I guess buying some reasonable equipment would be useful as well, but you definitely don't need the top of the line stuff either. You can probably get away with more often than not just your cell phone or maybe like a little vlogging camera or, something like that. You don't need to go ahead and like spend 20,000 on camera equipment like the big guys are doing. But if you're talking specifically YouTube, the one important thing is that you need to be very consistent, okay? If you're uploading 3 weeks in a row for every single day and then all of a sudden people don't hear from you for 3 weeks, those subscribers will not really appreciate that very much because they're expecting content. So for example, right now, if I wouldn't be uploading anything for a couple weeks, people would probably start talking about how I am dead and how I probably, should have communicated something before dying, like that happens all the time when YouTubers randomly disappear. So the biggest tip I can give you is just be very consistent and have as much fun as possible. Simon Mason asks, Loco, what has been your favorite moment on YouTube? And this is kind of a tricky one. I've been thinking about this for a little while. Because there's no like specific moment where I thought, oh my god, this is amazing, right? Like I really like the fact that we reached 50,000 subscribers like a week ago, and right now it's already close to like 53,000, I believe. It's kind of crazy how fast it's growing, which by the way, I'm very thankful for. But I think my favorite moment is when I realized that it is actually possible to do this whole thing for a living, like in combination with Twitch and all that sort of stuff. And it wasn't like one point where I realized this, but it was more of like a gradual thing over time, where I actually slowly but surely turned this like thing that I love to do into something I can actually do full time, which is pretty amazing. Shane Lucier asks, what are your plans for the future? And this is kind of an interesting one. I do think about this quite a lot, but it's pretty hard to say exactly where things are going. I mean, if things keep on growing like it is right now, my goal was to reach 100,000 subs in 2015, but if things are keeping the way they are going right now, if it's like exponentially growing as it is right now, we will far overreach that. But I don't know. It could also be the case that by the end of the year, we have like 70,000 subscribers, and I would be happy with that as well. So I don't have like a super specific thing where we go to right now. I'm just gonna keep creating content. I'm just gonna make things about new video games that come out. I'm just gonna keep the live stream up. And yeah, I'm just trying to bring the highest quality, the best content that I can bring you guys. And we'll see exactly where things are headed. And I guess we will find out together. Marv Adler asks, what are you doing? How are you doing your job, studying, school? Because you streamed a lot often in the past as well. And I wondered how you can afford doing all of this. So I guess what he's asking is more of like a time commitment question and not so much like a money related question. And there's a lot of you that actually asked a very similar sort of thing. So I get this question a lot. How do you manage to like live stream 6 hours a day and then make videos and then university and have like a social life and go to the gym and have a girlfriend and all that sort of thing? I think the main reason why it is possible is for the simple fact that I try and work as much as I can. And I know that is not the most healthy thing in the world, but trust me, I'm taking care of myself, no worries, I can already imagine the comments. But my idea is that if you sleep 8 hours a day, you have about another 16 hours in your day that you can fill with things that you have to do. A lot of people are spending like 5-6 hours watching television or something like that. I personally choose not to. I personally choose to just try and be as productive as possible. And on top of that, the one thing that actually upped my productivity a lot is by simply writing down everything that I need to do. And I mean everything that I need to do on a daily basis in like a list. I use an app for this, but it doesn't really matter. And I just write everything down a day in advance, and I then order it on priority. So at the very top of the list, it will be the most important thing, which will actually be like these YouTube videos, which is why I'm recording this at 9 in the morning. that is basically like a list that I have of everything that I need to do, and I just like go through the entire list and I don't stop until that entire list is done. So those are basically the reasons why, and I think it all comes down to just planning your time efficiently and, you know, not actually wasting time. But then again, you know, there are definitely other things that I would like to start doing as well. For example, recently I started reading a lot more as well, and all of a sudden, like, putting in another hour of reading every single day seems like a tough task, but if you actually try, all of a sudden there will be an hour available in which you can actually do that. Taylor Garrior asks, where did you get the idea to stream for a living? Well, this is an interesting one. This one sort of ties in with the question that I asked earlier. I didn't really have a specific plan in mind. I just did it because I really found it fun. And then at some point, all of a sudden, I started earning a little bit of money from it. That is basically how things go. There is no like goal that I had in mind before I first started, you know. It just sort of was a hobby that grew into something a little more. And lately, there's been like a couple thousand people tuning into the live stream, which is pretty insane. Alright, then we'll wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button below, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because you will be the very first one to get a notification when I upload another video. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one.